Happy Festivus, everybody.
Happy early Festivus.
Early Festivus, that's true.
Listen, don't mess up the show.
Okay.
Festivus has very specific rules and ways.
No decorations.
Lest you be beat about the head with blows.
Rained blows upon me.
Rained blows upon you. Yes. I won't be raining blows, but
no.
Figuratively, the Festivus gods might.
That's true. That's true. They exist.
Was it a god or a baby Jesus for Festivus?
There was a poll. There's no reference to any supreme being other than, if you want to consider Frank Costanza the supreme being. But that poll's been around here since 2011.
It has. And I think at one point, hey, so we're Jeff and Ben with Lancaster Connects, and this is the Festivus episode, if you haven't figured it out. We're big Seinfeld fans, so much so to the point where we almost named our corporate entity after a Seinfeld episode.
This is true.
But just figured it would be too much to explain all the time if you weren't as sophomoric and juvenile as we are. So welcome to Lancaster Connects. This is the show about small business and small charity success in Lancaster. And this week, we're talking all about Festivus.
Thanks for bringing it back to Lancaster Connects.
Well, you got to give the people who just skim the podcast and the video, you got to give them the hooks.
Yep.
We've been doing this a while.
76th episode.
76. And I have my own podcast for some of my own ventures, and there's 50 some of those. So we're a grizzled podcast veteran at this point, I think.
Yep.
Well, ask producer Chris, what amount of episodes constitutes grizzled podcast host?
724.
724, he whispered in our ears.
It's a lot to be grizzled.
Right there. That's what the Ghost of Festivus sounds like.
So if we make the Lancaster Connects podcast a daily podcast,
we could get there by 2 years.
2 years.
By next two Festivus.
Let's do it. 5-minute episodes. Shorts.
Yeah, exactly. So if I sound a little raspy, it is because I am
grizzled.
It is. Replay that. If I sound a little grizzled, it is because I am. That was fantastic. We're going to I need a pen. We're going to timestamp this one. I'm going to have our virtual assistant, Walmer, who gets out our reels that you might see on our Facebook page. That was about 3 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Meanwhile, all of our guests and listeners have tuned out. They're gone.
It's all right. You'll get back. There's a great moment in PBA bowling.
Oh my goodness!
Where one of the bad boys of bowling, he pulls off a big tournament upset, and I forget the quote, but it was right along the lines of, if I sound a little grizzled, it is because I am. It was right along those lines. Maybe we'll pick that up in the new year.
So there are
as a little hang along cliffhanger. There we go.
You make bowling sound like the WWE, bad boys and good boys of bowling. Like there's evil and good and evil.
Well, in these days there were.
What are these days? Like the olden days?
Well, in 10 years ago.
Okay. I never knew this. Dwayne, hello. Dwayne's a friend from church.
Happy Festivus, Dwayne.
He's celebrating Festivus with us.
Let us know if you found tinsel distracting or if you have tinsel at home.
Is that our chat comment?
We should question? Have pro or anti.
Oh, you know what?
Tinsel.
My parents are listening. I do remember growing up that our tree always had the old school tinsel on it. Like it would get everywhere. I
think at one time individual strands of tinsel. Asbestos.
Probably. Maybe that's why I've got this cough. I should.
That's why you're grizzled. It is because you are.
And then I think tinsel graduated into the strands of garland, right? The silvery red, and there's different colors. Garland. Mm-hmm. We do not adorn our current tree at home with tinsel or garland. I think there's some sort of fabric-y garland that Lindsay puts on the tree, but
yeah, I like the old school tinsel that gives you the metallic taste
you
on
eat
your
it?
Fingertips. It turned your fingertips gray and might have cut you.
You like your Christmas tree with a little bit of danger.
Yeah, danger Christmas. So we have a lot planned for this episode.
We actually have content.
we have content, not just two guys going on. We have a little bit to coincide with the Festivus for the rest of Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have Feats of Giving Strength. We're going to have the airing of Mattress Grievances, which will be fun.
There we're talking about
airing of mattress shopping grievances.
All the ways mattress shopping has frustrated people this year.
That's right. That's right. And now you're going to hear about it. And then to wrap it up, we're going to have the airing of gratitude.
Oh.
And that will put a nice little bow on this year's episodes of Lancaster Connects.
Yeah, end on a positive vibe.
Yeah.
Because the vibe of Festivus is a little, We even got Chris laughing in our ears.
It's going, man. It's this mix. It's this mix of coffee monsters, asthma inhalers for what's ever in my chest, and Seinfeld, sinus cold and active.
Yeah, you got something going on there.
Mm-hmm. So it's a combination of things. I'm feeling the holiday spirit. It's
I think Chris has a little intro for the Feats of Giving Strength.
Okay.
I don't know if Chris is there. You go. Chris is always ready.
I mean, I really had to use their bathroom. Frank, no offense, but this holiday's a little out there.
Taylor, you can't go. Who's going to do the feats of strength?
How about George?
Good thinking, Cougar. Until you pin me, George, Festivus is not over.
Please, somebody stop this.
Let's rumble!
Come on, be sensible.
Stop crying and fight your father.
I love how he calls him Kruger earlier in the episode, which is his name. That clip, he calls him Cougar. And I'm sure it was an outtake that was, they should have done over, but it was so funny that they left it in there. Like,
they did.
Have you ever seen there's some blooper reels of Frank Costanza, Jerry Stiller doing, like, just messing up. They're hilarious. They're just little, like, 4 and 5 minute clips of, like, just blooper reels, and, like, his goof ups were really funny, like, super funny. Anyway, so
let's bagel, baby.
Let's bagel, baby. Let's get our hands in the dough. So what we thought, we're not gonna pin each other. We're not gonna fight our father,
because
Ben
Ben doesn't want his. He doesn't want it. He don't want none of this burn. He don't want the smoke.
The original idea was to body slam me on a mattress. That's not gonna.
Is that what it was?
I don't know. So obviously, we highlight great nonprofits and charitable organizations, people doing great things in the Lancaster community. So instead of doing a physical feats of strength, we thought we'd share the feats of giving strength that these organizations have had in the Lancaster community. So we reached out to a handful of organizations that we've highlighted over the last year, and they responded with some things that they've done this year to help the Lancaster community. So the first one is Swan for Kids.
Some things.
Sometimes words are hard, Jeff.
They're right in front of you.
Things was not on the
right
list
there.
Yeah. So Diana from Swan for Kids.
Feats of Giving Strength.
Just a reminder on who they are. They were an episode. You can go back and look at past episodes. This was a great episode. Swan for Kids works with the school district of Lancaster, downtown Lancaster, and they have a number of music programs for kids whose parents are incarcerated or in other situations where they might not be at home. So these are children who looking for maybe more direction in their school life, and this music program offers that. So there was one girl in particular, 8-year-old Ellie Annie. There she is on the screen there with her violin. Ellie Annie was in tears when she showed up for her first Swan performance. So they do lessons and then they have performances throughout the year. She reluctantly agreed to join her drumming group on stage after her mother offered to sit beside her. She did. That was a courageous first step, and one that her mother, Melissa, said helped her a lot in her confidence. Eliane has since performed 8 more times. Her mother said she is not only as shy as she used to be, She has more courage. So this music performance and multiple music performances has provided her with that experience. Eliane is easy to spot on stage now because of her radiant, cheerful smile, which you see there on the screen, and willingness to stand in front. She said, "I am happy to be on stage and feel happy after the performance." So just, one of many. In fact, they've impacted over 200 students in 2022 through the SWAN program. So Eliane is just one of those 200 kids that have been positively impacted by the efforts by SWAN for Kids. So awesome program in the school district of Lancaster.
Yeah, and a special shout out to Diane. This is SWAN for Kids is Diana. I'm sorry. This is exactly, what I would hope Lancaster Connects can foster, giving a platform. Not that Diana needed it, because she had dogged determination on her own. But if we, somebody's starting out, if we can give you a platform and that gives you some traction with your efforts back into the community, that would be awesome. But Diana started this on her own, leaving, I believe it was a corporate career, to deliver music to children, as Ben said, of incarcerated parents. And I had the pleasure of, she invited both of us, but your schedule didn't work out. We got to go out to the Her family farm, and the Her family greatly, generously donated their farm for that night and the catering. And it was just fantastic performance. And I mean, this is one woman who started this, and now it's a massive charity. I mean, it's a 6-figure a year charity. I think with a 3 or 4 in front of it for the 23 budget, that just does a tremendous amount of give back. And it's one person that started it. So don't ever think for a second that if you got a great idea that you can't push it forward, because Diana is proof positive of that.
Yep.
And if you want a connection to great people, reach out and we'll try to make that connection for you. That's what this platform is for.
It's well said.
It is, because I said it, and it's amazing I said it as succinctly as
Clearly,
I
as you did,
because I'm feeling it right now.
Oh man!
All right, I'm not cheating here. I'm trying to make life on our team a little easier as I scribble notes. We've done this new thing where we're carving out reels from each episode.
So now you're allowed to say "thing."
Hmm?
You got on my case about saying the word "thing" earlier. Now you said "thing," so just give it right back.
Okay. Touche. Touche. So if I can timestamp for Wilmer, our VA, it just helps his day a lot nicer. Anyway, little inside ball you didn't necessarily need. But our next one we want to highlight in Feats of Giving Strength.
I like that.
That's right. Give it the Echoes, Elizabethtown Community Housing and Outreach Services. So just this week, they had 2 clients share how Elizabethtown Emergency Shelter has been a comfort to them. One client shared that he had not slept on a mattress since July. He reported that he was so happy to finally have a good night's sleep. And another client reported that he was finally able to have a hot shower for the first time in almost 2 months. So really
Something we take for granted.
Yeah, I mean, man, when I read stuff like that, I just took a twin mattress home that we had laying around for my father, who was coming in from out of town, to put in the guest room because we didn't have one in that room. Like it's just so easy for us. It's just so easy for you to take that hot shower.
Yeah,
and it's really easy this time of year to get caught up in all the gifts and the materialism of it. But right here in our own backyard, we've got a fantastic charity led by Bree Anderson, who's just helping people get a hot shower.
And a mattress.
I mean, you had that on dial this morning, just like that.
Yep.
Walk into your bathroom and do it. And I mean, what an amazing charity. So this year, in fiscal year 21-22, they served 1,034 unduplicated clients, which, if I recall from our episode, that means those are singular services delivered, because they do all kinds of services.
Yep.
And they also provided over $233,000 worth of free case management and advocacy to those seeking their services.
Almost $250,000.
Yeah, I mean, so right here, 2 charities with $500,000 in giving that we've highlighted, and you would think in Lancaster County that these things, just that level of giving isn't needed.
Mm-hmm.
How can we have people who need access to a hot shower?
Right. And that's just in one community.
That's in one community.
Yep.
And you don't necessarily think of the Elizabethtown community and that surrounding area as having those kinds of problems, but I guarantee you they're there. Okay.
Yeah, they do a great job. Fantastic organization. In fact, we've highlighted a number of organizations that are similar in that they help provide similar services in the communities.
That's right.
One of which is later in our updates here.
That's right.
So Lancaster Downtowners, we had Melissa Ressler on from Lancaster Downtowners. They're an organization that helps seniors downtown in Lancaster. They provide some opportunities for seniors to gather and do things. So actually, one thing their organization has begun, they're very excited about this new program that they launched, a cooperative program with Meals on Wheels called Take Them a Meal. So everyone's familiar with Meals on Wheels. This is something you're doing, you're building. Oh, you're trying to get the mini.
Trying to get in the shot. Sorry to interrupt.
This program, which is funded through Level Up and launch grant by the United Way, offers training to Meals on Wheels and downtowners volunteers to help volunteers know how to assist clients. It also covers the membership fees for Meals on Wheels clients to become members of the Lancaster Downtowners, and so access or wider volunteer services for things like transportation to medical appointments, tech assistance, and help with small household chores, as well as participate in various educational and social activities. The program is just at the beginning, but we look forward to growing collaboration with Meals on Wheels and connection with their clients. So Downtowners is a really neat organization because, a lot of times, seniors, they might go to a retirement community or might need a certain level of care, but the Downtowners organization helps them, active seniors that are, maybe staying in their home and want to do that. They don't need a level of medical care, but the Downtowners help them do other things, taking them to appointments. And one of the things I mentioned was tech. Sometimes tech advances at a rate that maybe not everybody gets. So you don't need to be a senior, right, for that to happen. So the Downtowners provide a really, really neat service for that community.
That's right. And now, not to be confused, let's see. Okay, not to be confused with Aaron's Acres.
That's right. Great organization.
Fantastic organization. Another one. I mean, I think their annual budget exceeds $1 million.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
But Acorn Acres, a home for the underdogs. We had just a fantastic time with Betsy and with Poppy, the Emmy-nominated groundhog. So again, we asked all of these charities to share a story of impact. So this is Acorn Acres' story. And while every patient is of the utmost importance to us, there's one little girl that really grabbed our hearts, a female eastern gray squirrel named Frosty and her sisters. Her finder was a police officer and was participating in a neighborhood Easter egg hunt when the little squirrels started approaching the children. The officer left his family, drove over an hour to get those little squirrels to Betsy at Acorn Acres. Frosty has albinism, and her sister did not. Raising them was uneventful as they were healthy, beautiful squirrels, but the honor of raising such a special and breathtaking squirrel will remain for a very long time. So I guess albinism is all
white squirrel. Yeah. I think there was a picture and I failed to give it to Chris. So my apologies.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to have another show with Betsy and highlight
and
the
Poppy and Frosty.
And I didn't put it in here because we can't share everything, but Poppy has a brother that is now with them.
Interesting.
I didn't put that down, but yeah.
Well, their impact, this is Acorn Acres, that is. As of today, December 16th, this is when they replied to our email. They'd helped 133 animals and their finders. Of those 133, More than 100 have been successfully released to their natural habitat to live their wild lives and support a healthy ecosystem. So there we go. Just another way of helping right here in our backyard.
Yeah, I like how the term backyard, right? Animals are part of the Lancaster community as well.
That's right. They are.
A week away, a fantastic organization that provides respites for those going through a difficult diagnosis. So a respite is literally a week away from everything that might be going on in their lives. It's a literal vacation, locally within driving distance, but it's completely paid for by the funding that a week away gets. And it could be a beach vacation, could be a vacation to the mountains. They'll work with the family and the surrounding family to send the family on that vacation, and all of the expenses related to that vacation are completely paid for. So incredible organization. They were thrilled to have approved 24 respites for families this year. So, almost one every other week they're providing for families in our community going through this diagnosis or any difficult diagnosis.
And if I remember correctly, their typical average cost was about $5,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you think of what
so
it costs to send
over $100,000.
Yep. And they've actually just passed their 200th family landmark total in their time of offering these respites. And one of their biggest funding events is their golf tournament. We talked about that during our event. It's typically at the end of summer, and it was their most successful golf tournament yet. And of course, they look forward to another great year of support. And if you'd like to support any of these organizations that we're talking about or have talked about throughout the year, we have their contact information, the website link, their Facebook links on our episodes page, lancasterconnects.com /episodes, I believe is that page. You can scroll through, all the links are right there. These organizations need your support, our support, to do what they're what they set out to do, and they'd love volunteers and of course funding to carry out their missions.
Yep. And if you want a connection to any of these charities that we have on our show, reach out to us. We're happy to make it. Maybe you have something specific you have in mind that you'd like to give or donate or be involved with, something we said or our guest said that inspired you, and you have an idea. We're happy to make that connection. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, we're not just the on-screen talent. We put these shows together, so we make all of the connections to make our guests bring our guests onto the show.
That's right. Well, another charity that big feat of giving strength is Real Life Community Services. So they served over 125 children in this year's Neighborhood Santa program that gave gifts to children in need. 100 of these children had the opportunity to attend 2 different parties for them so they can get a selfie with Santa and also pick out a special gift to give to a parent or special caretaker in their life. So I really like that. So they're receiving that gift, which I think is really special as a child, but then they're also learning the spirit of giving and thinking about who's important to them. That's really great. And, that's what I've come to learn as we've gotten to know some of these charities is there's always this air and focus on air of subsistence and, building a foundation of success to go forward on your own. There's a lot of hand up, more so than handouts. And I think if we look at that lens across every charity, that exists with all of them.
Yep.
So I really like that.
Yeah. A lot of these organizations are helping with financial education and, job assistance and,
Yep.
And it goes more than just home and food.
Yeah. And additionally, Real Life Community Services helped so many more people this year than ever before. They were able to help a dozen families stay in their homes with their eviction prevention program. So, I mean, that's fantastic. If you figure an average of 4 or 5 people per home,
Yeah, right.
that's 50, 60 people that were kept under their roof. Stability at home, as we know, is paramount. Again, something likely a lot of our viewers, if not all, it just, it's happened for us. We take it for granted. Along with that eviction prevention program, they've helped numerous homeless individuals get off the street, and they increased their food distribution program to over 125 families. So real life, if I remember, and forgive me, it's I'm not feeling 100% today, but we have also done a lot of episodes. Real life served the north part of the county.
Yeah, they're Denver, Ephrata, that corridor.
I mean, again, kind of like Elizabethtown,
mm-hmm.
you don't really think of people in food insecurity and homelessness in those parts of our county.
Yep.
You kind of think of that maybe as more of a city problem,
right?
But as we've come to learn over the years, this is all over the county.
Yep.
So congrats to Rod Redkay and his team at Real Life for continuing to up the bar there in the north part of the county. I know they appreciate you, and we appreciate you.
All right. Last but not least, help the fight. Linda Charles, friend of the show, fan of the show, and fantastic organization that she started. There she is up top, and Susie, who helps her out with Help the Fight. Help the Fight helps those going through breast cancer diagnosis, and basically what they will do is provide funding and help for, again, those going through that diagnosis. So they might help pay rent or mortgage. They might help with a grocery bill. They might help with medical bills. So really whatever that person might be struggling with in that moment, going through those difficult diagnoses, Help the Fight will help with. So just, they have so many stories that they could share, but one of somebody that they helped, they had a patient that was homeless and was in need of immediate treatment for breast cancer. Working together, we were able to get them off the streets and into a place to stay and to get the treatment that she needed. And that was just one story of many people that they've helped. And of course, they've helped helped and impacted over 200 patients financially this year. And they recently broke $1 million raised as an organization. So that's incredible.
It really is.
I don't know if I'm sure Linda had big ambitions when she started this charity, but to raise $1 million and what that $1 million can go to and impact in those people's lives, that's just got to be a wonderful feeling for her.
Well, and I mean, if you're doing the rough math so far, as I've been doing, I think it would probably be easy to say $4 or $5 million.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In those 6 or 7. Yeah,
in annual or in total contribution back to our community, and that's pretty incredible when you consider we're just highlighting 5 or 6 people, mm-hmm. and we're not talking about, the United Way, which is a fantastic asset to our community. Kevin Ressler, he does great work there. Help the Fight. This is something you could do if you had a passion and you had the drive to start your own Help the Fight like charity, because
mm-hmm.
that's what Linda did. She saw this gap in cancer treatment, specifically around breast cancer, and said, I'm going to help with that fight. And then, like Diana, spearheaded it. So the challenge again would be, if you have that idea, please go for it. If we can make a connection, please reach out. If we can give you a platform to put some shine on your efforts, as I like to say, through this podcast, reach out. That's what we're here for. We believe a strong community makes our community better, and it makes our business better, and it's why we give back. I guess I'd be remiss to say at this point, we don't make a big deal of it. We have, in a couple episodes, I guess, we've shown that we do a donation to all the charities, but we don't make a big deal of it. It's not really the reason, we don't really look to get that. But just know, every time we have a charity on, we're giving back to that charity a decent little sum each month. And then the cost of producing this show is also an expense. But we believe, again, that instead of just being successful, we want to be significant to our community and give this platform out to great charities like we've highlighted, and many more to come. And one last charity to talk about would be Off the Streets. We have our mattress donation, buy one, give one program going on this month yet. The long and short of it is we bought about 45 mattress units. So we have those here. We would love for you as our customer to support that through our roundup efforts, any roundup dollars that we collect, just kind of like when you go to the grocery store and they ask you to round up a couple pennies, we're asking you to round up a couple dollars. But those dollars collected throughout November and December are going to buy more mattresses in the new year, and we'll just kind of keep it going forward that way. But so far, about I think 30% of those have been picked up.
Yep.
And we have more that will be given out to Off the Streets later. And again, they really work hard to not only get people into housing, but make sure they stay in the housing that they put them in.
Right. Yeah. Just getting somebody a home for a month doesn't
fix the problem.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you know anything, there's a lot of effort that goes into that. Like there's a lot of effort when we go to hire somebody, you want that to stay put and have that hand up be a foundation for success for those families. And Off the Streets does a great job of that. So that would be that.
There they are loading up. We helped them load about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, there we go.
A number of twin mattresses as the first donation we did with them. So there we go.
That's right.
Great crew. I mean, all volunteers helping out, lending their time.
I mean that's essentially like
it's the lifeblood of these organizations.
It really is. I mean, most of them that we talk to are volunteer led.
Yep.
And if they're not, and there's people on staff, I don't take issue with that because you need smart, common sense driven people who have their own families and their own things to take care of in their own life. But, I've never gotten the feeling, nor would I ever feel good about highlighting a charity that misuses the funds,
Mm-hmm.
put it that way.
Yep.
All of these charities do a fantastic job of being good stewards of the money that they get in. That's for sure.
Yep.
So I think we're on to the next.
Yeah, Feats of Giving Strength is over.
That's it. That was our Feats of Giving Strength.
Didn't have to pin anybody.
Way to go, charities. That's great. That's right. I like that. Speaking of odds, we didn't get our usual football talk. It was a Festivus miracle on Sunday as an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
I will just say, that's right. Fly, Eagles, fly. We pulled out the win against
Top Bears.
The Bears. And our friend Sweet Lou, who is a gentleman that, is an old school, on the road furniture sales guy, came into town a handful of times to help us out when we needed it.
Yep.
Lou he's a Chicago guy, so this is for you, Lou. Bear down, Chicago Bears, Broadway. That's how Lou sang his song for his Bears. So any Bears fans, don't take umbrage with me. That's how I was taught it by a fellow Bears fan.
Did Lou reach out to you at all yesterday? Was he trying to give you?
We were texting back and forth.
Yeah.
We were both commiserating. It was an ugly win.
Okay.
But, it's just W's and L's in the column. And
Sure.
Speaking of L's, I said a little prayer. I said a little prayer after my Eagles won. The station flipped over, and it was turn of possession. And I'm like, dear God, please have a turnover. Please.
You're talking about the Dallas game.
Dallas Jaguars. Yes, sorry.
Tie game, overtime, right?
Oh, this was in overtime.
Dallas has the ball.
I said the little prayer, and the very next play was the tremendous interception by the Jaguars to run it back and win in overtime. And as an Eagles fan, it's like, it's not double the emotions when you win and they lose. It's like 7 times. It's fantastic. Like kind of on par with my firstborn son being born. It's just
He knows that it's that. Yeah. Right.
It's just about like that. So anyway, yes, Steve, I am. Yeah, Christmas plans this year are a little different with that Christmas Eve game. I put the whole family on notice that I will be focused on football come 4:25 on Christmas Eve.
Now, okay, so late afternoon
That's right,
game. What happens if it? I mean, maybe we shouldn't say like
You bite your tongue. It ain't happening. It's just not happening.
I mean,
Just saying.
the Lancaster Connects audience won't get an update until January 2nd. That's our next show.
You can feel free to post. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. 27-17 Eagles.
Okay. It sounds good to me.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
So anyhow, that's that.
You didn't send Chris the meme?
There's just too many.
Yeah, well, that's true.
just
That's
too
true.
many.
Yeah.
So at any rate, our next section, I think we have a little intro into
we
the
do.
airing of mattress shopping grievances.
Mhm. Got a lot of problems with these two
The
guys.
tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it. You, Kruger, my son tells me your company stinks.
Oh, sorry.
Quiet, you'll get yours in a minute. Kruger, you
Get yours in a
couldn't
minute.
smooth a silk sheet if you had a hot date with a babe. I lost my train of thought.
So many classic moments
Lost my
in that
train of thought.
episode.
That happens
Yes,
around here a
it
lot.
happens.
with this
Happens
me.
often.
With this guy.
Busted cold on the 20 G's. That's why Kruger was sitting there.
Oh, right.
We-
the human fun.
That maybe we should tie in Human Fun next Festivus, but like, George was giving out the fake Christmas cards. Donation has been made in your
That's-
name to the Human Fund, and
That's not where our donations go.
that is true. It is very true.
We've got the receipts. They all go to the charities. Every one of them.
And then basically Kruger called George's bluff and like wrote him a $20,000 check to the Human Fund, and then George was like going to be.
I forgot about that. part.
He decided to be a philanthropist at that moment. To then
Basically gave me a fake Christmas gift, George.
right, you're gonna have to explain that. Whew. All right.
George said, "I think I can have you experience it if I need you to." He said, "I
Right.
think you're going to need to."
Right. They drove my family.
And
out
I
of
have a little
Bayside.
Festivus poll to bring in if you haven't gotten what this is in the background. So this sits on my desk year round. Anyway, so the airing of mattress shopping grievances. So Ben and I put our heads together, and we kind of figured we would talk about the top 5 things that our customers seem to be most frustrated with. If they could say to every mattress store or website or salesperson, if they had grievances, these would be it, and these would be the problems they have with those people.
I like that.
So the first one, this is more topical. This is as of recent, and I guess I'm showing my age here. I'm not on TikTok. I don't want to be. I kind of refuse because there's enough social media buckets in my life. I don't need another one. But apparently, somebody on TikTok did a TikTok about fiberglass in mattresses. And, it sounds like a scary thing. So we're not going to be able to, this could be a whole big, long conversation. But to touch on this, so fiberglass and glass fiber, the monocrylics and, sand glass derivatives of solutions have been around consumer products for a long, long time. They've actually been in mattresses since 2007 when all the fire retardancy laws were put into place. So to catch you up to speed, basically in 2007, the government mandated that mattresses have to basically take an acetylene torch that has a device on it that basically is about the dimensions of my fingers here. And I'm going to go this is difficult with the camera being backwards, but they basically put it on the side of the mattress and they turn an acetylene flame on, like a propane flame on the mattress for about 3 minutes. And it goes across the top and down the side. and then they have to turn it off, and then it has to self-extinguish in 30 seconds. And that's the burn test. And
All mattresses have to pass that.
All mattresses have to pass that. And that began in 2007. So we're 15 years into this now. And feel old yet? And 2007 doesn't sound like 15 years. But that's the test. And there's been a lot of solutions along the way. And this fiberglass thing has not been a problem until the online channels of the world, sourcing things from overseas, really began to suppress the price lower and lower and lower. And the old adage is sometimes things are cheap for a reason. Being in the industry 20 some years as I have, and on all sides, I still get emails to this day from OEM suppliers offering these fiberglass socks that go around the foam core of a mattress. And I mean, I see prices of these things for $3 for the sock that goes around a whole mattress. And these are very harsh, crushed actual fiberglass fiber socks that encase the whole mattress. And the issue with this isn't so much that it's even cheap or that it's hazardous. It's that in the space of buying a mattress online, the mattress seller looks at the removable cover as a benefit to you. So you as the consumer take that off and you now release those fibers. Whereas that's just not an easy solution anytime, because the cover is hard to get off in the first place. There's a far better solution. That's a quality, breathable, waterproof mattress protector. Keeps you out of the bed. You just pull it off like the sheet you're already pulling off anyway, launder it, put it back on. And when people take these covers off, those crushed fiberglass fibers release and, get out into the air in your bedroom through your HVAC system. And it does become a real problem. But this has not been an issue really up until the last 5, 6, 7 years. It's really becoming an issue as of late. And my theory is that as a lot of inexpensive mattresses were purchased, as we went into the COVID pandemic and shutdowns, Amazon bought 4 million units of imported mattresses during year 2020. They basically bought out the market. These problems exist, and they exist at a certain level of product. And you as the consumer just need to kind of know this information and make your decision. What's the appetite for destruction, I guess you could say, because that's what happens in your home with some of these products that are lower dollar.
So the cost of buying cheap is not only that you're buying a cheap product that's going to wear out quickly.
Yeah.
It could go beyond that.
It can go beyond that. Yeah. So many mattresses, even Tempur-Pedic, have some glass fiber construction in their fire retardancy solutions. But these are just not problems that our customers have. And we're very communicative with our customers. So that's one of these new grievances that's out there. We're always here to answer questions, and we're always here to help. If you want to stay clear of that, there's other solutions like cotton and wool. The company right behind me, that the mattress is right behind us here. Gold Bond, cotton and wool, fire retardancy blend, no chemicals. Posh and Lavish, wool, cotton. Harvest, wool and cotton. Even Tempur-Pedic uses some cotton. So there's many other solutions out there, and caveat emptor, buyer beware. But we're here to help you. Just reach out.
All right. So good grievance. Another grievance that are
good grievance.
Good grievance. That's a new phrase. So another grievance that our customers have, reviews. How do you? We live in an online world. We shop online. Probably what most consumers do when they shop online is they look at reviews. How do you know when you're looking at a review that a review is actually a legit review by a legit consumer? And you don't. You don't know from a lot of these online mattress retailers that have huge social media reaches. You talked about TikTok and Instagram, and these companies really tap into the power of social media, and they harness the power of reviews, but they do so in a really deceptive way. They are paid for reviews, kickbacks, right?
Well, it's more than that. It's that some investment companies that own the mattress manufacturer
Right.
happen to own the review site or sites publishing the trusted reviews. And imagine who gets tops, whichever factories they have financial stake in.
Yep. Good point.
You know, if we were to go and print something like that in the local newspaper, they would put the little advertisement around the box,
paid for marketing,
paid for.
Yep.
And we'd even have to go a step further as far as the Federal Trade Commission is concerned of disclosing the relationship. So, you know, if we did an insert in the local paper that looked like a big glossy endorsement of trusted mattress review site recommends Gardner's, but we paid for that insert in the paper, we'd have to disclose that.
Yep.
But we're in this weirdo place of where the internet's still kind of the wild, wild west. And that's what ends up happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And from a consumer standpoint, there's no possible way, unless you're in the know like we're in the know, no possible way to know that that's what's being done to you.
In defense, there is, but you have to scroll to like the bottom of the website, and click through 7 layers of about us clickery.
There's no attention span for that.
Right. It's not something you would know because it's presented differently.
Yep.
And I'm a take you at your word kind of person. And I think most of Lancaster County is too.
Yep.
So we get it. Even Consumer Reports is taking money for recommendations.
Yep.
And they disclose as much.
Yep.
You can see it on their website. You can see it in their printed material.
Yeah. You look at the top 10 mattresses. I mean, we know the industry, we know the manufacturer, we have personal relationships. We know who makes a good quality mattress and who doesn't. Now, we have some of those mattresses that are on the top 10 list, but it's not that the number one mattress as rated by the readers of Consumer Reports is the best mattress out there. Yeah. It's just maybe the most popular one as paid for by
just think about it this way. Save yourself the time to go research what we just said. If the testing methodologies were so sound and within reason and judgment for the last 40 years, how is it that the same strategies of testing and methodology didn't change, but the entire list and those that were at the top and in the top 10 for the last 30, 40 years are now at the bottom?
Right.
Like what happened?
Right.
The companies just didn't completely crap the bed.
Yep.
Right. So at any rate.
Yep.
As always, do your own research, but we're here to help. And that's that.
You know, where reviews can really be helpful is when you're looking for consumer experience. What was the consumer experience like? You know, and it kind of goes to the level of service that we provide. Like all of our reviews, they're not paid for. We don't sit there behind the computer typing them out. They are reviews from customers sharing their experience about Gardner's. We're not talking about brands. We're not talking about specific products. They're talking about Ben, Jeff, Drew, Andy, Phil, their delivery crew. They're talking about us. So
that's right. And we actually get in 2022, soon to be 23, handwritten ones, which I think is real special. People taking the time to mail this back, these handwritten reviews. You can see it on our site, gardnersmattressandmore.com/reviews, and they mail them back. They use their stamp, their time, we send the envelope, but they mail it back. And I think that's real special. But our next one,
we're about 10 minutes till 3. So we're running out of grievance opportunities.
Okay, we'll move the grievance. Hey, I'm a 6 out of 10. What are you?
I don't know. I'm a 2.
We should have had more prep time. I mean, so a lot of consumers, this is why you can't, if it's not on the script, you can't do it. So there's a lot of folks that I talk to who relate their comfort preferences as being a 6 out of 10. Well, when you look at the online mattress world, most of these companies relate their firmnesses to what number? 6 out of 10. It is so, I think, disingenuous. They have to put a number because you have to quantify this in some capacity across the online media. But listen, if we could find a way to make what we do objective, like if you're a family of 6 and you're buying a car, you're not buying a 2-door coupe with a sunroof or a convertible top. Okay, you're buying a minivan, and that stinks because minivans aren't fun. but you're buying a minivan or a big SUV. That's objective. If you love to cook, you're buying the kick butt stove and refrigerator because there is objective points of being a home chef that cooks at a high level. You know, if you want the most efficient HVAC unit, there's objective decision points. There's objective decision points in a mattress. The problem is the same 10 people that are looking at the same objective decision points, there are 10 different subjective bodies are going to find one mattress, maybe the one behind me, uniquely different in 10 different ways. And I would love nothing more than to be the guy that figured this out for you, because we'd be very wealthy to figure this all out.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, any given mattress, 10 people, you're going to have likely 10 different opinions of it. It's subjective. How your body's built, your bone density, your muscle mass, where you carry your weight, where you don't, pressure points, aches and pains, surgeries, sleep habits, you name it. It's all very subjective.
Also kind of goes back to the review aspect, because like somebody posts a review about a specific mattress. Well, they love it. It might be the right fit for them, but it's not the right fit for everybody else. So that's the challenge, you know, when you're talking about specific mattresses, and like even like our next grievance, which mattress is best, which brand is best. You know, well, let's just throw the brand thing out the window. The name of the mattress doesn't mean anything. You know, we carry quality products here, but probably 90% of the products that we carry here, most of our consumer base, most of Lancaster County isn't going to know who they are. They've never heard of these companies, but you know, some of them are good quality regional bedding producers, family owned and operated, similar to, you know, how we are. You know, they care about the name that they put on the product. They care about the warranty they care about the materials. They make good quality beds. You know, so the big brand, just because you know a brand doesn't mean that it's good quality. And then,
and I would add, the 4 names that most people could repeat, if they could repeat all 4, are owned by 2 companies.
Right. And by the way, the CEOs and C-level tend to line their pockets and take the quality out of the product to make sure that those numbers look good on paper to the 2 organizations that you know, own those 4 companies.
There was a point not too long ago when one of the names that your great grandma came up with, and your grandma had, and your mother had, and then you had, at one point, for every dollar they generated, they carried $1 of debt. So how good could what's inside really actually be when you're carrying that much debt?
It can't be.
Right. It just cannot be. And we feel, we made the decision 5 years ago, if we're going to continue to be a 5-star company, we need 5-star partners, not 3-star partners.
Yep.
And because of the brands that are on our floor, the ones that aren't, that lets you know who we feel are 5-star partners. It's as simple as that.
Yep, absolutely. And it's not to say that any one of those big 4 brands is like, we carry one of those brands. It's called Tempur-Pedic, and we've had Tempur-Pedic for 21 years, and it's a fantastic product that does what it says it's going to do. But you know, it might not be the right fit for everybody, and that's why, you know, when somebody asks, well, which mattress is best? Well, maybe it's Tempur-Pedic, but let's talk about your sleep issues. What's keeping you up at night? Is the issue the mattress, or could it be the fact that you're lying flat? Maybe your mattress is too firm. Maybe your mattress is too soft. There's any number of reasons why we might make a recommendation for what mattress is best, but it's not going to be a brand, and it's not going to be like, oh yeah, this mattress behind us is the most popular one in the store, and I think that's the one you should have. That's never the conversation we have with our customers. So
yeah. And the last grievance, you might think is a little odd considering it's us, the local guys, but we get it. You know, one of our core values is we're going to respect your time and money as though it was our own. So maybe a grievance might be, is your mattress shopping, is why should I buy local? I don't want to be punished. You know, typically local small business, I know I'm going to pay a little more. This is a big purchase. You know, it's not like buying nuts and bolts at Lowe's versus my local Ace Hardware franchise, where you drive 2 miles out of your way. This is a bigger purchase. We get that. But again, I go back to our reviews. Look at our reviews. And I think you're going to see a lot of people mention the value that we deliver, that they didn't feel that they overpaid. And
in fact, we've had reviews like
say opposite.
Right. I expected to pay more, but really you were in line or less than.
Yeah. So all I would say there, and Ben, I think you'll echo it, is come experience what we have to offer. Yeah. And put us to the test. And if it's a price you need, we have that mattress. If you want the right fit, whether it's $500 or $5,000 that you invest, you want to make sure it's the right fit, because you're going to be equally disappointed if you felt you wasted $500 or $5,000. We want to find the right fit.
Yeah, we like
And-
we like challenges. We like those customers that come in and said, "I bought mattress after mattress and mattress, and I haven't figured it out. Like I've spent all this money." We love that customer because we know we have solutions and we can figure it out in ways that other companies haven't been able to do.
Exactly. So that was the airing of mattress shopping grievances. I think we have one more little Festivus snippet to share, I think.
Such a great episode.
It is.
I introduced the
We
kid.
are out of snippets, gentlemen.
Oh, we are
no
out
more
of snippet.
snippets.
Okay. Well, then we're just going to slide right into the airing of gratitude to wrap up our time. So this is where, Ben and I are very grateful for the year we've had. We look back on our blessings, and we couldn't have done it without our team.
You've seen one of them running around here, working through multiple customers.
Yep. That's Drew, our sales manager, Andrew, our operations manager, Phil, who is kind of our utility man, our designated hitter.
DH.
The DH, he can be in the warehouse, he
Like
can be
that.
helping on the sales floor. If he needs to go in the delivery truck, he can, because he came up with us on the delivery truck, and we helped him transition in here to the sales floor. And then we have our wonderful delivery team, Nick and Calvin. We just can't do what we do here without that crew.
Yep. And the job of delivering a mattress isn't easy. I mean, you think of, it's just a white rectangle that, once you get in the bedroom, you're getting some of these mattresses in king size and some of the quality materials that are in some of our products. Like, these things can get really heavy and
if you want to
cumbersome.
know the quality of what you're buying, pick it up.
Yep.
The heavier it is, the better it is. Simple as that.
And they have to navigate weather to get in and out of the house. They have to navigate tight staircases and things on the wall and around corners. And, every house is laid out a little differently, tight ceilings and stuff. So they deal with a lot. It's not an easy job, and they do it fantastically well.
They do.
So kudos to the whole staff here at Gardner's.
More gratitude for our community. And we love doing business here in Lancaster. And again, this show is part of that deposit back into the community, because our belief is that if our community is strong, our business is strong, and we're going to be a part of helping to make our community stronger, and remain a great place to live, where you love to work and love to live. So
Absolutely.
that's what this show is all about. Everybody that's been on the show, we're grateful for, because you're doing amazing work out there in the community. And
well, we wouldn't have a show if it weren't for these amazing organizations that we can highlight.
Be just these two chuckleheads talking
about football and
talk
Seinfeld.
about football and Festivus and Seinfeld and all this other stuff that we talk about. But it's the people who've come on that really have made this show great and make our community even better. And then we'd be remiss to say our partners, producer Chris, who, if he can come on screen, we're catching him blind. I think it's time everybody meets producer Chris.
Pushes all the buttons, makes it all happen. I mean, he saves the show. I mean, how many times does he's right there. We lay something on him last minute. He's got it ready to go.
Yeah, like the pictures with Off the Streets. We're talking about that. And
boom, right there on the screen. Websites.
You're not supposed to tell everybody that I just kind of did that off the cuff. Then it looks like you're disorganized and you didn't plan as well as you do.
It's fairy dust.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, thank you.
We have a lot of fun.
Yep. And and Ben said something earlier about how we organize the show and this and that. Yeah, we book the guest, and we get the guest.
Yep.
And we lay out some discussion points, but beyond that, it's all producer Chris on the screen. And his team, Della and Renee, who are fantastic in helping him grow bigger and better month over month, year over year. So we're going to keep rocking in 23.
Thank you again.
So
Appreciate it, boys.
Chris.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime we'll have to do a connection cocktail with Chris as the connection. Yeah.
That would be
he plays the music. He plays the connection cocktail music.
And then, our vendors, I'm going to go with our family-owned companies first. Remember I said, can't be a 3-star company being hitched to can't be a 5-star company. Cougar, my son tells me you couldn't smooth a sheet with a hot date. Anyway.
You just butchered it.
I did. Just like I did the 3. We're a 5-star company. We're aligned with 5-star partners. You can't be 5 stars with 3-star partners. And these family-owned companies, here's why they're special. If you, our customer, have a question that we can't answer in front of you here in our showroom while we're open, we can call the owner or a very high up level manager within that company and get that answer for you. With these companies, Gold Bond, family owned company, same family, back to 1897. That's 105 years. Same family ownership. That's special.
That's 3 centuries ago.
Sure, it is. I had to math there for a second, but he's right. Spanning 3 centuries.
Spanning 3 centuries, yes.
Mattress Tech, 80 years, family-owned business. Fill Station Pillow Kiosk, an amazing invention by Arthur Watkins. Custom fit, custom make pillows right here for you. Posh and Lavish, amazing guys that got chewed up in the corporate world, spun out and said, we believe so much in our product, we're going to go on our own. Fantastic partners. Hillside, Amish-made foundations right here in Pennsylvania. We source it direct.
Yep.
We work harder because we want to give you a quality product, because that part of the industry, not so great anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But Hillside makes a great foundation box spring. You want to pick up the rest?
Yeah, Bedding Industries of America is a relatively new partner for us. They make a great, really handmade product for us. Two-sided flippable bed, and Pete Primo is a rep to the rep extraordinaire. Can't say enough good things about Pete, our friend Pete. He reps a number of products that we carry. Maloof Home, actually a local guy, Larry Soraka is a representative for
Lancaster.
Maloof
Larry
Home.
Soraka.
Lancaster Larry Soraka. Maybe he could be a show guest one time, but he reps in a lot of the products that we carry as well. And Maloof Home makes some of the great mattresses that we carry. Bed Tech is our base adjustable bed base supplier. So, we're talking about solutions for your sleep issues, and we're talking about raising your head and raising your legs into a position of comfort.
Yep.
So many sleep challenges in Lancaster have been solved by Bed Tech adjustable bed bases. Number beds, you're maybe familiar with the big number bed brand. We carry number beds.
The original number bed for thousands
bed.
less.
Yep, every bit the same quality and better, and lower price. Harvest natural mattresses, 100% organic materials go into Harvest mattresses. So those looking for organic and natural solutions, it's a great brand. Honest Sleep, same vein. They make a lot of our organic material accessories, pillows, protectors, sheets, and of course Dream Cloud and Nectar. They're kind of the online mattress gorilla, right? You do some mattress research, you'll probably get followed around by some Dream Cloud and Nectar products. But we carry them here. We have them all on display, and they're very popular, but they're also good quality mattress options.
Well, and to kind of put a bow on this, you get to try it out here in our store, and that would be what I say. We want to be on the playing field. We feel we'll win if we have that opportunity to serve you and affirm what technologies fit your body. That's the answer. You need to understand what fits. That's how we get rid of this subjective, mysterious thing of what's going to work for you. Visit our store. We have all the technologies available, whether that's an online mattress by one of the famous brands there that's a hybrid or all foam, whether that's a number bed, whether that's a natural sap rubber latex bed, traditional coil spring, you name it. We've got everything here. Understand what works with your body, get rid of some of that subjectivity. And then even if we don't have it all dialed in, our Wake Up Happy guarantee has you covered. So I think
Well said.
I brought it home.
That's right.
I fixed my
for the last time in 2022.
That's right. So I think we're going to forego the rest of the formalities. We have one last prize later spin.
A few comments today
for the show, for the prize, and that's a $25 restaurant gift card or a wonderful Less Snore More Cuddle drinkware.
Sleepwear. Yeah, maybe we should have some Less Snore More Cuddle sleepwear. Maybe that's a 2023
well, we
project.
We have some outerwear. Yeah,
we did.
Nobody wants to see me in my pajamas.
Well, maybe we, sleepwear for our customers.
There we go.
Yeah.
So Steve, you're the winner. You can pick that gift card or the flask or tumbler. And, all jokes aside, enjoy the 23rd for Festivus, but truly have a blessed Christmas. I hope you get to enjoy it with your family. Take a breath, take some time, enjoy who's around your table, and be grateful that they're there with you this year and that they'll be with you there next year. Merry Christmas.
See ya.